Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you guys have been well. It's been almost a year since I released my last video about the Cisco CCNA 200 301 exam. Forgot what it was even called, it's been so long. So today, got my AZ700 exam and just wanting to talk about my experience really. I had lots of good feedback in the last video. It was really nice to help people and just tell them about my experience and yeah, just guide people, it was quite cool to see all the comments. I'm hoping to achieve that with this video as well. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below and I'll try the best to get you an answer. I tried to reply to everyone and I think I got everyone, but if I didn't, let me know and I'll get back to you. So for those of you who don't know what the AZ700 exam is, it's a cloud networking exam. So it's networking within the cloud, and it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about how much Microsoft is doing and all the resources they're providing us. It's actually insane. So that's one of the reasons I actually wanted to do this exam. Earlier this year, I actually got my fundamentals exam. I completely forgot to make a video about that one, but if you are interested in a video about my experience with the fundamentals exam, let me know. It'll take a bit of recalling, but it's quite similar to this exam. So why did I decide to go with the cloud networking exam? I come from a networking background, then I got my CCNA, and I believe everything's going towards the cloud. So the main goal is either to have a hybrid infrastructure, have some stuff in the cloud, some stuff on-prem, or migrate your on-prem to the cloud. And so I want to get on board with that. So here's what I did to prepare myself for the day. When I booked my exam, I decided to do it at a testing center. I only had the option of selecting a morning exam. If I did it at home, I'm not too sure about how flexible they are with the hours. But anyway, I had a 9 a.m. exam and had to prepare to get there, because here in Auckland it's just down the road but so much traffic, so had to prepare for that properly. I had to make sure I had a coffee before I went. I had to know how long the exam was going to be just so I could manage my time a lot better. I expected the exam to have multi-choice questions as well as moving the bar around. I knew all of that from the previous exam. And just getting into that mindset, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna see. I feel like that was a good idea. There was a total of 40 questions. The passing minimum you need is 700, and I passed with 755. So I just skimmed it. Honestly, I just skimmed it. But pass is a pass, right? How long I took to prepare? I took 2 months of average consistency. I tried to study every day, but there's some days where you just don't, or some days you'll only study for about 30 minutes. Honestly, I did that for about 2 months. It definitely worked. Now, there were some things that I ran into that I didn't expect. First thing was a case study. So what that is they give you a massive case study with all this information, and they ask you one question at a time. So there's drop down boxes of what the networking is, what the VNets are, what the subnets are, what the application is. They give you all of these lists, and there's a bunch of drop downs and stuff. You have to shuffle between each of the drop downs to find the correct answer, and it will ask you questions about like the subnet, about the application, load balancer, firewall. There was 8 questions for the case study. There was a real balance of questions. Honestly, it was the most balanced exam I've ever had. The questions related to firewall, the questions related to load balancers, virtual networking, subnets, virtual gateways, front door, application gateway. It was so balanced. Another thing which I didn't expect was background noise when I was at the testing center. There was some construction going on in the back, and I was actually provided with little plugs you put into your ear. Didn't really work, but I put it there anyway. So just want to go on to how long I took to prepare for this exam. I took 2 months of average consistency. So what is average consistency? Average consistency for me, that was about 40 minutes a day. 40 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So what I do is I go to work, come home, study. The time that I'm at home, I need to study for at least 1 hour, or at least make some progress in the course content. This took me 2 months because I was using the Microsoft documentation. Now, the Microsoft documentation, it's good, but oh my god, it's so detailed and it's just so boring. You know what I mean? Like, it's so boring. You have to read and just read. It is quite difficult to retain the knowledge. But that's comes to just another point that I wanted to make, and that's just being honest with myself. Once I read the document, I was honest with myself. Did I actually understand what I just read? Do I need to read it again to actually make sense of it? That's why it took me so long. That was the first thing I did, is just make sure that I get through all the documentation. It took me ages, but it was worth it, because the second thing I did once I was done with the documentation is that I purchased course materials from Udemy, and I only purchased one course. It was by Alan Rodriguez, AZ700, and there was 2 options on Udemy to buy for the AZ700. It was either Alan's, or there was another one that's a lot shorter. Alan's is about 14 hours, but it's slightly more expensive. I decided to go with Alan's one just because it's got a better review, but it's quite detailed. It's got a lot of networking fundamentals in there. So if you don't really have those fundamental skills, it'll be good for you to go with that option, just because it teaches you fundamentals and OSI model, all of that stuff that you need to know. But I think I could have gotten away with the other one, but no regrets. It's quite informative. I didn't actually finish. I only used it to really refresh my knowledge of the Microsoft content. So as I was going through, I didn't really understand something, so I would go and watch the videos provided. And I think that was really good of me doing that, just to really get it in there, because it's hard, especially because it's such a new topic to me. It's not like networking where I did it in uni and then over and over again, networking, like the fundamentals are there, but it's just so logical. Everything is so logical. You have to really make the diagram in your head about how things are connected. It's real logical, but it's also just another skill that we have now. Another thing I used to prepare myself was John Saville. Shout out to John. You did it, bro. Your content is so good. Everything AZ700, the deep dives. After watching John Saville's videos, I start to make the diagram in my head on how it all goes, because it's all one big story, and you just have to know how everything connects and what the truth is and how it actually works, and if you change particular things, it's all just one big story you have to put together. And I think that's the hardest part. But John Saville's training, you just have to watch that first part of the video and you're like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. Go back and read the Microsoft document and it just starts to make sense. Those are the main things that carried me through this exam. So that was the Microsoft documents, there was Udemy, just to really embed the Microsoft document. Then there was John Saville. That's when I really struggle in. I have to go and watch his videos just to really get it. Routine, the longest I went without studying was probably like 2 days. I went 1 day studying, 2 days got lazy, and then third day study again. Even if it's 40 minutes, you have to keep consistent. It's tough, it's boring, you have no social life, but it's worth it. Walking out of the exam with the cert, knowing that you passed, because Microsoft tells you that you passed right away or failed right away, it's the best feeling. And just the last point to what made me pass is just, truth, being honest with myself. Did I actually understand what I'm reading, or did I actually understand this concept? And that goes a long way, because in the end, you don't want to just lie to yourself saying, oh yeah, I know this, to pass an exam. You have to actually know it. That's a hard thing to admit, but you have to do it and you'll get there. It takes ages, you'll get there. So I hope this has been informative for you guys. I haven't made a video in ages. I really should have made a video for my AZ900 fundamentals. If you do still want that video, just leave a comment, let me know. I'll actually do it for you guys. I guess now I just gotta figure out what to do next. If I should do another cert or chill. I don't know yet. This has been one of the major certs I got this year. And I'll let you guys know what happens, or if you have any questions, let me know. You can add me on LinkedIn or follow my Instagram. Have a good one.